All right, welcome back. I have my lovely assistant here.
Hi.
CJ.
What?
And today we are going to drain the fluid, start disconnecting stuff in preparations for dropping the motor, transmission to do timing belt, water pump goes with the timing belt, the AC compressor, and the rear main seal. So let's get started. I already got a pan, a little radiator pan set up. So if you want to get under there, CJ, and open the drain valve. Okay, first you got to find it. So this is the radiator. You can see the mounts right here. Now there should be a drain valve somewhere along the bottom of this. Look, it might be on the other side. Right here. See, it looks like a wing?
Yeah.
All right, so before you take it off, go get that light that's over there and put it behind this tire and make it face this way. Looks like we got some plastic that's wrapped in electrical tape. All right, so you just turn it, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. It starts coming out. There should be like a small hole in it, and it should just come.
So what's coming out of it?
This is coolant.
So does the coolant make the car cooler?
Yes. All right, so the engine has a water pump, right? It moves the fluid through the car, all right? So when it goes through the engine, it gets hot because the engine warms it up, and then it pushes it through the top of the radiator, and then it goes through the radiator. So the radiator has all these fins and passages. So when it goes through, the air passes by it and cools it off, and then goes to the bottom, and then the engine sucks in the cool back in. That's why they call it coolant, really. We're gonna have to flush this. There's some nasty stuff in there. And we're leaking more than we want to leak in different places. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and make a big mess. There it goes. Probably should have put one of those pieces of cardboard on top of it. All right, that's like watching water boil. Let's go do something else. So we know the engine's coming out, so we can start taking off water hoses and intake hoses and stuff like that. So go grab a flat blade screwdriver and a zip zap with a 8mm or 5/16 bit on it. And your 7/16 did not get put away, so you need to find that. Yeah, so you do this side, I'll do this side. So you want to take this off right here. All right, so that's off. We got to get our hoses off for PCV, top and bottom. So I'll get a pair of pliers for it. So usually if it's been worked on, they come off pretty easy. Like this one's been worked on. So it comes off really easy. All right?
Yeah.
So now what I want you to do is tighten these up just enough to where they don't slide off, okay? And that's the upper. See all that rust? We're gonna have to flush this. I don't like that at all, not one bit. All right, and then you can access the lower one right here. Then pull this one off. Yeah, these are coming right off. So easy. All right. Then should be 10mm for the radiator mounts. That's cross-threaded. And these are not the right mounts for this radiator. So let's write that down on our list. Okay, let's see if we can get this fan shroud off. So the fan shroud looks like it's going to be an 8mm. This fan clutch doesn't seem good at all. It's spinning like there's no tomorrow. Let's put our incorrect bolt back in there so we don't lose it. Still need to get the lower radiator hose off, CJ. Off the radiator itself. So I want you to disconnect this right here. This is your coolant reservoir, which goes right there.
Alright.
And if you see me leave tools on the engine, just put them away. I'm really bad about that, and that's not what you should be doing. Yeah, so just use those pliers that you just moved and undo this clamp and then pull it off. Yeah, this has the trans cooler in it, but it's bypassed, so it's not, it has an aftermarket transmission cooler. All right. Let me pull off this lower radiator hose. You got that? There you go. Yeah, squeeze it.
Okay.
Squeeze it till it's all the way together, and then move it this way. There you go, just like that. Okay. Hopefully that light's not in our eyes. Lower radiator hose right here. We'll just pop this guy off. was the rest of it.
I didn't get down there.
Okay. All right, same thing with this hose, CJ. Put
Make
the,
sure these don't fall off.
yep, make sure the clamps don't fall off, we don't lose them. Okay, so good news and bad news. Good news, the old compressor's there and the lines are there. Bad news is the tensioner's gone and there's no belt, but I mean, I ordered a belt, so that's not a big deal. And we also need to get rid of this cooler. Okay, what were we doing? Pulling radiator out? Fan clutch, that's right. So, fan clutch, if you can see that down there, it looks like 10 millimeter bolts. It should be relatively easy to get off. I say that, nothing's ever relatively easy. I think we might do a fan clutch delete. Knuckle buster. That's what this car is. Knuckle buster. Alright, you don't need to see me take off every single bolt. You can watch CJ play around with his. Okay, CJ, you're in charge of that secondary camera, so wherever you want to show stuff, show it, since you're going to be editing the video anyway. Will this radiator come out with the... I think we can pull the whole thing out with the fan still in there, is what it looks like. Let's try it. That is a yes. You would think there should be a bottom to this, shouldn't there? This fan shroud? All right, so CJ, we need to flush this radiator.
All right.
And then, see how dirty these fins are? See all that dirt and stuff right there? We gotta spray that out and clean it out. So what I had to do on the 4Runner was I washed it, and then I used the air compressor and blew it out. And I had to blow it out from both sides.
Yeah.
So, go take this over to the fence.
Okay.
And then also, you're gonna want to push water through there and out here. Let me see if the mounts. I got one mount. You're leaking. You're leaking. You're leaking.
Yeah. One mount. You're leaking. You're leaking. You're leaking.
Take it to the fence. We have both mounts. This one looks okay. This one looks a little worn, so top and bottom. Supports. All right. Now it's easier to get this fan off. Look how much more room you have in here with that fan clutch out. Hopefully this AC condenser doesn't have any holes in it. That's going to be a showstopper. It wasn't too bad. And then you're going to reverse it.
Yeah.
So we just flip it over. Go get the cap. We're waiting for him to get the cap. Okay, other side, reverse flush. Now I want you to watch and look how you saw it was coming out clean on this side, right?
Yep.
Look at this side when we reverse flushed it.
Oh my god.
See? That's why you do both ways.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna want to cut these off.
Yeah.
All four corners, these friggin' baling wire.
Yeah.
You're gonna pull this off. We gotta wash it and clean it, and then you want to clean your radiator.
Okay.
Okay. He's cleaning the radiator. I want to show you the fluid. Now it looks like green, right? But that should be a lighter color green. So when you look over here, see how it's got all that rust and nastiness in there? Yeah, we need to do. We're probably gonna run the hose in here and flush this engine out. All right, power steering pump right here in the way. Okay, so we got a lot of grime here. There's grime on our bracket. And you look underneath, there's grime all over. So I checked that hose. The hose seems tight. But since there's a grime up underneath there like that, I'm pretty sure the front seal on that pump's bad. So we're gonna go ahead and replace that pump.
Okay, this is the before shot. It's all dirty.
Okay. Okay, if you're really anal, you'll get a small screwdriver. And you see how these fins are bent? You'll bend them back. Because if air can't travel through it, it doesn't work very well. This is aluminum, so it's real delicate. Sometimes you can stick like a feeler gauge on the other side and straighten these out too. You get the idea. Okay, fan clutch and fan off. One of the studs came out, so we need to put some thread sealant on there when we put it back on. But you can see the oil's leaked out of here. So this, I mean, there's a little bit of resistance, but not much. This fan clutch is gone. The fan's not in that great a shape either. And I want to say I ordered a fan for this car when it got put in, but the one I ordered didn't fit. So he had to put the old one back on. I don't even know where the new fan is, honestly. Okay. But, and Jared, tell me what you think about this. I think we should just delete the fan altogether and then do an electric fan setup, like either a big 16 or whatever we can fit on that radiator, and just do an E-fan. All right, so I want to put the bolts and studs back on here, I think, or do I want to pull this pulley off first? Because this is the water pump right here. I guess we need to pull it off. Let's pull the pulley off, and then we'll put our stud back in and our bolts or our nuts back on, and then we'll just transfer them to the new water pump. I'll probably get new nuts actually. All right, so water pump we're gonna have to clean and paint that. Also, Jared or Jennifer, do you want to paint the pulleys a different color? Normally I paint them just black, just plain black. And usually that's because when you do it again, you just get the same can of black spray paint and it matches whatever else you already have on the engine. All right, and it looks like we are missing one lock washer. Okay, so as much as I didn't want to do this, it was a good idea because look at the front of that motor, it's just filthy. And this belt is trash. Holy crap, that belt's no good. All right, power steering. Yeah, the alternator and water pump belt was complete garbage. We still need to get this intake piece off. So that popped off relatively easily. And we've got clamps right here and there. I'm gonna go ahead and pull those off so we can clean these as well and inspect them. Wrong size. I need an extension. Okay, let's look at this. So, driver's side, you have your two hoses here. I think they're both PCV, and this one looks like it goes somewhere. When we get the engine out, let me see if I can trace it real quick. Okay, it goes to a switch. It goes to that switch down there. That's probably for idle or something. I'll look it up and figure it out. But that's where it goes to. Now, since this motor's been swapped, is that where it's supposed to go? We'll figure it out. All right, got this one off. Zip these down so we don't lose them. So this was hooked up. The hose is kind of cracked on here. And there's another vacuum port on this side. Oh, here it goes. It wasn't connected, but yeah, it goes there. It's a good thing we have this blue tape on here to label everything. Okay, so that goes to another one. Metal tube that's connected to who knows where. We'll figure it out later. All right, intake tubes underneath. And our lines, it looks like this car's already been converted to 134, so that's a plus. Power steering belt, we're gonna get it off. Looks like we have an adjustment nut right here, and then we'll just loosen that. Try that. Okay, power steering. So you loosen this nut right here, and then there's a bolt that goes in perpendicular that you have to loosen so you can actually move this power steering. And then once you do get enough loosened up enough. Yeah, it takes quite a bit of loosening. You can get the belt off, which we're not quite there yet. We're almost there. So I've taken this bolt at least 1/4 inch by now. I wonder if this pump's leaking, because there sure is a lot of fluid all over the place. All right, you get the picture. You don't need to watch me struggle to take this thing off. It's almost there. And this belt is trash too. I'm gonna go ahead and write on here which one's which, so I know when I go and match up the new ones. Power, steering, water, pump, alt. Right. Oh my gosh. Seriously, with the paint pen. Okay. Wiring. All right. Since we're in here, I'm gonna pressure wash all this since it's easier to get to. I think I lost power or something. Let me go fix that. Okay. Let's pressure wash this thing. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, I found this, and this in between the frame and the cross member is kind of just hanging out. I cleaned up more on the bottom side, and I'm still debating if I'm going to drop the engine and transmission out from the bottom or try and do everything. So we still have to replace the suspension. We got the tane front and rear. So either way, I have to get in there to drop all that out. The question remains, do I drop it all and work on it on the ground, fix it all up, jack it back up, or do I work on it all right here and then do the suspension completely separate? So that's the question. Post in the comments below what you think what your thoughts are on that, and we'll go from there. My partner in crime is cleaning up around the shop, so maybe he'll come by and say bye. I don't know. There he goes. See you tomorrow.